Hi, in this episode 1 of Starting a Business, as I kind of highlighted, my channel will be focused on several core areas from improving health and fitness to starting a business to improving style. I want to use this opportunity to highlight the first opportunity that I'm thinking of and documenting the journey, which would be starting an e-commerce website. Most likely the early on form or proof of concepts will be highlighted on Amazon, the domain and platform, where I'll be looking to sell specific products sourced from Alibaba and China in areas that I feel comfortable. So I've already taken the liberty and I'm going to be explaining some samples that I've gotten and received. And yeah, hopefully they're of good quality and something where I can look to develop some initial proof of concepts and test the market. And ultimately with my channel, hopefully you can get a better gauge of these specific areas that I'm looking to really highlight, and you can add value to your life by following this journey. This is my first stab and attempt at sourcing and looking at samples from suppliers and vendors in China for products in areas that I find a lot of interest in. In particular, that will be furnished and leathered goods for a lot of technology, whether that be iPads, iPhones, but also instances of samples for, let's say, watches and kind of the luxury market. It's an area that I find a lot of passion in, and I'm looking to start something in this space. Now, please feel free to use this documented journey as someone that has almost no skills in this area in terms of starting a business from scratch. Feel free to use this as an opportunity to engage with me. The thing that I'm currently doing right now is just evaluating different vendors and suppliers, even manufacturing groups that are available through Alibaba, and testing them, see if there are any interesting products that I might get around. And just for me personally, I have a huge affinity for leathered goods or materials that are essentially a little bit higher quality as opposed to, let's say, electronics and toys. It's a market I feel more comfortable in, and that's something I'm currently vetting. So with that product that I just recently opened, or with these iPhone cases, that's an area where I feel, has a potential high markup and high margin, and just looking to essentially how can I differentiate myself, and I think that'll come with hopefully the branding I get from my seller store. So just gonna go ahead and submit a purchase order for some additional products. So I'm waiting on a couple shipments to arrive for me. So one, I just need to make a payment of $80 for a couple samples, and I'm excited to evaluate those as well. So a little bit steeper in terms of shipping. It was around $37, but I needed that express, so it's not a big deal. What I'm going to go ahead and do is just send some messages back and forth to evaluate on samples for some initial products. And what I have here is an unboxing for a potential product that I'm looking to release. So what these are, they're iPhone cases, but they're PU leather iPhone cases, and that's something I'm looking to evaluate. It's just to see if this is an option. And I didn't pay too much for the shipping from China and the cases themselves. Altogether, it costs around $15, and typically you can expect to pay somewhere between $15 to $35 just on shipping alone. So with the express shipping, I thought this was a pretty good opportunity, and the vendor himself was pretty responsive. And so far, I think what I'm going to do is I just want to open one. My initial goal might be just to list a couple of these without any specific logo, and then kind of go from there. Ooh, these are... At first, definitely a fan of the material. It feels fairly robust. I wonder, I don't like this. There's like this indent on the back. Looks like it almost came a little cracked or folded. Is that like that on all of them? Not really. I think that just might be the shipment. It got smushed maybe along the back. I might note that in my message, but overall, I kind of like it. Yeah, so at first glance, the material is pretty quality. No real initial blemishes. Just need to test to make sure that it looks good with the actual iPhone 13 before I do any proof of concepts on Amazon. And kind of go from there. So yeah, I just want to point out something. What I thought was initially a defect along the back, it's actually just a part of the case, and it's this almost dual layer. So that's something to note. And in initial proof of concept, if there is any negative reviews or anything like that, kind of go from there. So fortunately, the minimum order quantity for this provider, it's pretty flexible. I think it's only 100 units, but I could get a little bit more granular and get that information. Yeah, but overall, pretty happy with it. Yeah, I do like it. I don't know if that will be an issue for people, but that's something we can check out. Okay, so after testing the initial product that I received for those iPhone cases in a leather material, one thing I'm going to do right now is just put in the SKU or part number on Amazon and look to try some initial proof of concepts with the samples that I do have that fortunately don't have a logo or anything, but will just be used as an early gauge to see if there's, based on an initial price, what I can look to sell for. Finally got another package, so we'll see what samples I ordered arrived. Okay. So these are cool. These are essentially watch cases that I think are really, really nice and something that I think is just super high quality in terms of what I was looking at. And something for me is just a need. I've seen myself traveling, and whether I'm carrying like a couple watches just for meetings or something like that, I never know how to store them while traveling. And I got both the black and the brown. We'll see. Don't know how I'm going to go about this. Something I've learned is I think I need to get some UPC codes just to be able to actually list the product on Amazon. And I'm going to do an unlogo trial just to see, do some marketing, and then yeah, kind of go from there. I don't have a lot of high expectations right off the bats, but this is going to be a learning progress nonetheless, and this is why I'm kind of cataloging this whole process. So we'll see. I mean, it's all baby steps. In terms of the vision, I have an idea of where I want to go with this, but yeah, hopefully documenting this journey and starting a business will just be a great opportunity to see not only my struggles, but some challenges and resolutions for a way to move forward. And okay, when all things are said and done, I went ahead and listed it. So the iPhone 13 in a leather tan color has been listed for one sample, has been listed. I did find it hard to get essentially without a product code. I didn't pay for UPC. I had to list it under a SKU that was already provided. And right now I'm pricing it at roughly $7.49 and undercutting the product page by roughly 50 cents. And yeah, so this is essentially what it looked like. I had very similar images, but until I get that UPC code, I'm gonna have to list it under this generic, essentially unbranded logo phone. And as it's been running for a week, I haven't seen any purchases, which is to be expected, but it's okay. So here is kind of, if you look for the available listings, there's currently just me, so it's at $7.49. with the Storefront Equine, which essentially is just the branding that I'm looking to have for my seller profile. So this is a page that I'll have to edit and fix in due time, but yeah, really excited for that.